The Lives of the Saints by Father Alban Butler. February 28th. Blessed Antonia of Florence. In the town of Aquila, in the Abruzzo Mountains, rest the relics of three stable Franciscans, St. Bernardine of Siena, Blessed Vincent of Aquila, and Blessed Antonia of Florence. Antonia married very young and lost her husband a few years later. Desiring to consecrate herself entirely to God, she resolutely resisted all attempts of her relatives to remarry her. In 1429, Blessed Angelina of Marsciano sent two of her nuns to found the fifth convent of the Tertiaries Regular of St. Francis in Florence. Antonia was one of the first to enter it. A year later, her superior, recognizing the exceptional merits and qualities of the Hida, appointed her superior of the convent of St. Anne of Foligno, which had been the first foundation of the order. There, Antonia had the privilege of being personally directed by Blessed Angelina. At the age of 3, she was sent to govern the new community of Aquila, and once again, the example of her holy life and charity inspired those around her. Blessed Angelina died 2 years later, and Antonia lost another of her great supporters in the person of St. Bernardine of Siena, who passed to the Lord in 1444. When St. John Capistrano passed through the city, Antonia expressed to him her desire for a stricter rule. The saint understood her longing and managed to get the Monastery of Corpus Christi, which another order had just built, to be ceded to her. There Antonia withdrew with 11 of her religious in 1447 to practice the original rule of St. Clare in all its rigor. Many young women gave up a brilliant future in the world to enter the new convent, so that it soon had to be enlarged to accommodate the 100 or so nuns who chanted the divine offices night and day. Humility and patience were the characteristic virtues of Blessed Antonia, who for 15 years had to endure a painful illness, as well as a multitude of severe spiritual trials. Antonia's son made her suffer greatly, for he squandered his fortune and frequently came to trouble his mother with the story of his adventures and difficulties. Another of the great trials of the Blessed was that the Franciscans of Aquila, to whom St. John Capistrano had entrusted the spiritual direction of the community, abandoned her for some time, although they later accepted the charge again. Antonia was a worthy daughter of St. Francis for her love of poverty, which she called the Queen of the House. She was very affectionate with her daughters, and they never ceased to reciprocate, always venerating her even when the Blessed resigned from the office of superior at the age of 7. Some witnesses narrated that they had seen Blessed Antonia wrapped in ecstasy several times at a certain height from the ground, and that once a globe of fire appeared above her head and illuminated the place where she was praying. Antonia died in 1472. The bishop, the magistrates, and the people of Aquila celebrated the funeral with great pomp at the expense of the city. The cult of the Blessed was confirmed in 1847.